What's going on, eaters and feeders, Earth2 enthusiasts, crypto enthusiasts, novices, stock people, everybody who's caught up in this Wall Street's bets, the Wall Street's bets, what do we want to call that? Chaos. I think that's a good word. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, a lot of people jumping into stocks and crypto, constant evolutions of these waves and waves of people having interest in stocks and crypto. Here's some crazy charting stuff. I did a video, I think last Sunday, and I had some people who were asking me what this was and wanted me to do another video. So this is actually something, this is a combination of different charting methods. And the way I like to approach investments, and again, disclaimer, none of this is investment advice. Everything that you invest is a risk, and don't play with anything you can't afford to lose, whether it's stocks, crypto, Earth2, or whatever. But if you are going to get into that stuff, what I do, and if you're new to it, maybe this will be helpful, but also always consider it a constant learning process. I'm always trying to look for other indicators and charting methods and things like that just to fit my own individual style and preference. But basically what I do is I'll start with fundamentals. So in most of the time I'll start with fundamentals. So fundamentals would be like the research of knowing about a particular stock or cryptocurrency, what the project's doing, knowing about, upcoming projects they have and things like that. And that'll help you limit it down because there's endless amounts of stocks and endless amounts of cryptocurrencies and everything else. So first I try to limit it down to a list that I'm going to pay attention to. Then from there, I'll use the charts to figure out where a good entry and exit may be, as well as where I think things are trending. So I'll go over a couple of the charts that I've got. Unfortunately, I reset my computer. My computer reset itself, and a lot of my charts got wonky doing the Chrome reset. So some of them were way off and I haven't had a chance to recalibrate them. But I just wanted to give you guys some, because I know there's some hot crypto right now and some stocks people are paying attention to. So I wanted to show you the charts that I still think are worth my attention. The other ones I'm going to probably just throw away and start from scratch. So we're right now we're looking at Doge. Obviously, I'll show you my losses, or they weren't losses because I've just been holding, but I'll show you where I was wrong. I anticipated Doge. These were some potential targets that I saw. I started to try to get into predicting stuff. The little arrows, if you can see, there's little arrows. That's where I made those targets and drawings. So as far as the timeline is concerned, those arrows were where the price was, and then the targets were what I was trying to predict it to go to. As you can see, it eventually did pop up, but I was trying to find, it looked like it was staying on some support lines. They ended up not, sticking and holding. It was a little bit more bearish than I anticipated. And that happens when you have stuff being hyped. There's also, you have to understand, like, look at this as a war of bears and bulls. Bull, you'll hear bullish or bearish. Bull means, or a bull market is when it's going up. Bear market is when it's going down. So bulls and bears would be, bulls would be people who are buying into something. They think it's going to go up. They're bullish on it. They are optimistic on it. And then the bears will be people who are selling, or like the Wall Street. What's really great about this this Wall Street bets phenomenon that just is, a lot of people became educated as to what shorts are and how the market is manipulated. So bears would be people who are either selling or they are shorting the security, the asset, the stock, the whatever, in order to drive the price down, or they are legitimately pessimistic on it. They do not think it's going to be successful, so they'll be getting out of it. Now, when you see something that's being hyped, Bitcoin and all sorts of other things, even though people think there may be a faction of people who have a lot of money and they think Bitcoin is going to go up, they think Doge is going to go up, they think whatever it is, they think it's going to go up, they still want to be bearish on it and they want to buy a bunch of shorts in order to suppress the price and keep it down. And you'll have situations where, like, let's say I had $10 million and I bought, $10 million worth of Bitcoin. People are going to see that movement. And it's going to bring the price up. Now, if I were to all of a sudden sell like $2 million worth of Bitcoin, that might start making some people panic, and other people will sell, and it'll drive the price down. And the reason I would do that is to then throw that 2 million back into Bitcoin. Now that the price has been driven down by some panic, people are looking at, the order books and seeing that, someone just sold a bunch of Bitcoin. When you see $2 million of Bitcoin being sold, you're like, oh man, what's this guy know that I don't? He's got more money than me. He's smarter than me. And it creates panic. So that's what I say is probably happening when you see it breaking through support, because there were some healthy support lines that should have been allowing Doge to rise up. And I would have thought that it'd be hitting, it would have been recovering from the 30 cent little lull that we had. But as you can see, eventually the bears run out of money to short it, or they run out of the ability to keep the price down. Enough people become bullish on it, and it does come back up. Now, Dogecoin, I've mentioned this in the last video. This is a coin that I swore I would never buy. The only reason I'm getting into it is because from a fundamental aspect, Dogecoin and meme coin, the creators didn't think it would have any value. It's basically just a joke. There is no product behind it. They don't have any ambition of creating revenue. Now, anything can happen. Elon Musk has mentioned Doge a lot. That's partially what's probably driving this up. As you can see, this is where we are right now. And just really quickly, I'll show you. This is kind of what I wanted to bring on to drive your attention. This is a pretty strong resistance line. This stopped some pretty strong bull runs. Let's zoom out. Can't even zoom out. So this big spike where Doge went up to 60 cents, and now it was like at 80 cents in Binance. So different platforms had different prices, but this is the big spike that it had a few days ago. It was stopped by this resistance line, and then this other big spike from just a few days ago was also where it was stopped. So the fact that it's trying it again is a bullish signal. The fact that obviously things are trending up, there is a bullish signal. So I am definitely going to continue holding my Doge. Probably not going to buy in right now just because I've already got so much into it. I like having some money or Bitcoin on the sidelines just in case it comes down. So to give you an idea of if it were to come down, I would probably be buying it up at 46 cents. Looks like there's some resistance, so it'll probably bounce off of this. For those of you who didn't catch the other video and you're not familiar with charting, these lines that you see, these crazy amounts of lines, and I know I do have way too many lines on here. These represent support and resistance when they're horizontal. Now you'll see some arc, some are vertical. They're basically, for lack of a better term, they're like energy points. A lot of times you'll see when it's a vertical line, that will be more of a time relationship, and you'll see sometimes there'll be a spike down initiated or spike up initiated. They're just these weird energy points, and I spent months learning this stuff, and I paid this guy I don't know, I think a quarter of a Bitcoin a few years ago to learn this stuff. So now I'm kind of dusting it off. It's been a while since I've touched on it. I should probably go through some of my old notes and material. But the short version of it is that's why you're seeing there's different points where the price looks like it's engaging or interacting with these lines, and it's hitting them and bouncing off, bouncing down, bouncing up. I'll show you some examples of some vertical energy points. Oh, here we go. Here's a vertical energy point, and look, there was a spike right there. Here's not strong correlations, but you can see this arc is kind of lining up with where it was stopping this. And if I was a better charter, honestly, it would probably be lining up and touching it. There were some guys in course I was taking, and they were phenomenal charters. Again, here's another, this is part of an arc, but it's a very large arc. So it's a very subtle arc, whereas the smaller ones, the more recent ones, are much sharper and easier to see the curvature of it. But you can see this price found, you can call it support, on this green arc right here, and price started going up. And then once it got through that support, dropped down, and it blew right through that. So this tells me that this arc and this support line probably aren't, the way I look at it is when you see it blow right through without any hesitation, any back and forth movement, that normally tells me that it's probably not going to be a significant line of support or resistance if we come across that line again in the future. So there'll be a continuation of that line potentially in the future. And honestly, with this angle, it would be such a crazy price that we're probably not going to run into it again. This one, as you can see, kind of rode along this arc, hit this resistance a few times, hit it here, hit it here. If we went back into the past, we'll see it bouncing around on this resistance here, hit it here, kind of broke through and was suppressed back, touched this arc, came back. This arc pushed stuff out. So it's good that we're moving away from this arc because that one looked like it was strong. Blew through this resistance and then found support on it, kind of bounced around through here. If I were to throw more graphs on here at more of these movements segments, we'd be able to probably line up some of these points with other arcs and other lines, but on a 5-minute chart, it becomes crazy if you're trying to catch every one of the segments or the movements. And to that, like a segment or a movement, what I'm referring to is like the completion of a bear cycle or a bull cycle. So this peak right here, that's the completion of a bull cycle. Is bullish, 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 going up, going up, going up. And then at the completion of that, it'll turn into a bear cycle. So it starts coming down. And then what we're trying to do is we're trying to predict when we're in a bullish cycle, when we're in a bear cycle, when we should be buying, when we should be selling. And then with these tactics, these methods, these, charting tools, these can't talk today. I haven't had any coffee. Been trying to get off of coffee and it's working against me. I've been having headaches and not talking. Geometric shapes help us try to guesstimate where we're going to be buying or selling. If you just want to know whether it's going up or down and you just want to jump in right then, you can. But if you want to be strategic and try to plan out where you're going to buy and sell, you might look at some relationships of some other arcs and see if you can arcs and resistance lines and all sorts of other stuff. There's plenty of other tools and indicators. So on top of this, what I'll also do to look for the trend is I've got some favorite indicators. The moving average. I'll show you all my secrets. At least as many as I could fit in a short video. I don't want to be live for too long. What else do I like? Let's do an RSI. If you guys are interested in this charting software, check out the link in the show notes. There's a free 30 days that you can get on TradingView. And this is the best charting software I've ever used. Bittrex, if you use a Bittrex trading platform, they actually pull their charts through TradingView. So TradingView is legit. This is what I wanted to show you guys, though. And I'll get into these charts as well. Let me throw on. So this is the moving average. What this is, I'm putting in length as 200. That means it's going to take 200 of whatever units I'm looking at. Right now, this is a 5-minute chart. So that's basically an average price of the last 200 5-minute segments. So what we're looking at is this will also be like another, you could also see this as support or resistance. When it's below this line, see it, try to get through a couple of times, got over it, kind of didn't go too far below it. If I were to see this come down to around this price, and I were to see like down here, we've got the MACD, the blue line signifies when it's going up. Like look at this peak over here. This peak, when this big spike happened, the blue line went over the red line, drove the price up, started coming back down. And then when you see the blue line go under the red line, that's an indicator that it's now definitely a bull market. It's a confirmation for a bull market. And as you can see, brought it down, kind of been bouncing back and forth. But as you can see, where blue line crossed here, and you can see on the screen, I just started pointing with my fingers if you guys could see it. So look down here. Blue line crossed over, went over the red line. Blue line, or the price started going up. Crossover right here. Start coming down a little bit. Goes up and down and up and down and up and down, and then down significantly over here. down below the red line again significantly over here, and you see these drops occur. So there isn't 100% correlation with this stuff, but what I do is I kind of layer these things. So again, I start with the fundamentals. So I know I'm trying to get in with a good project, a good company, something that I think is worthwhile, something that I think is undervalued and will be worth more in the future. So that's what I start off with. I get a list of those and I focus on just those. And then I'll use a combination of the charting to figure out where I'm going to get in and out, what the trends are. And then these are just some confirmations. This down here is the RSI. Let me spread it out so you can see it a little bit better. I'll zoom in. And the RSI, I've noticed it looks like the RSI seems to precede the MACD. So the RSI will give you a signal first. Then I use the MACD to confirm it. So if I see the RSI, the stochastic RSI, which is what this tool is, and I could explain this stuff in more videos, but basically I want you guys to get an idea of what I recommend doing. What works for me is I use several different disciplines and strategies on top of each other. Instead of just one green light, I try to find, like, if I'm using 3 different indicators, I want to find at least 2 out of 3 green lights. And then I'll use the chart to find my entry or exit position. So right now, as I was saying before, we've got, so based on what I've just told you, we've got blue over red. So that's a green light. Now down here, it does look a little bad, but I'd say this trend probably started here. Because like I said, RSI, what I've been noticing is it looks like the RSI will signal first. So we got a green light right here, helping drive the price up. Then the MACD came in to confirm it. Another bullish signal is that it's above this 200 unit moving average, which, as I mentioned, was the 5 minutes, so 200 5-minute increments. And then this support, or this resistance line, that is now going to turn into support. Once you're above it, it turns into support. It's like, imagine trying to, Superman trying to fly through a building going from the first floor to the second floor. When he breaks through one of the, when you're trying to go through one of the roofs that's above you, it's hard to do that. You got to punch through that roof. But now that you're on the second floor, you've got a floor below you, on that second floor that keeps you falling through. So every time you get through resistance, it provides some support. And this is what's cool, is you guys basically watch this live, because what I was showing you is how it was hitting this resistance line. It started peeking through, as you can see, boom, bounce back, shows it's a bit significant. But the fact that the price didn't drop crazy low after that tells me it's a bit bullish. Now we've broken through. Look at that, it bounced off of it. So it's turned it into support now. So now our next resistance line is going to be right here at 55. I keep saying cents, but that's 5.5 cents. So we're currently at 5.3 cents. And we're going to see now, remember those vertical lines? Let's see if this vertical line becomes a significant energy point. Sometimes they're not significant. There's ways to figure it out, but at the end of the day, you could still be wrong. Like all of this, you could still be wrong. So I only go so granular with stuff. At the end of the day, I'm looking for getting in or getting out, right? Well, I'm holding. I don't see, oh, look at this. This is one of the downsides of having all of these charts going on, is you guys might not be able to see that, but this is actually an old arc. And sometimes the older arcs are going to be very strong and relevant. We'll see if they're, oh, that's not an arc. That's a line arc. But it looks like there's a line, a very small green line, and that's actually what this is hitting. So isn't that weird? Like, I've seen charts. What's cool about charting is I've seen stuff that, good charters will make a chart and you can go back to it in 6 months, and like 6 months down the road, the price is still hitting these old lines that were put up a while ago. So it's not dead on, but as you can see, the tip of it barely went through that line and it bounced back down. But look how bullish it is. It didn't even have to hit this support. And it's like, no, I really, really, really want to go up. So the market is very bullish. Now, I think 13, 14 hours ago, Elon made a subtle Doge reference, which is much wow. If you guys know the Doge memes, you'll recognize that as a Doge meme. But he's straight up said, like, what up? He said something. He's mentioned Doge by name many times. The recent interview he did, he was talking about even Dogecoin. So I do expect Elon's mentions of Doge to be bringing it up. All right, so we're gonna. This is another 10 minutes away. I don't want to make the video go super long. Tell you what, if you guys join TradingView, use that link, join TradingView. I'll give you my name, and then you can look up my charts that I have published on TradingView, so you can keep in touch with these things. Because I probably won't make these videos super regularly, but if you want to see my charts, I'll have them all up on TradingView. Let me see really quick if I have any questions. What platform do I trade on? I trade on I'm such a platform whore. For crypto, I'm on Bittrex primarily. I've got some stuff in Kraken just because you guys know how it is. You try to find some altcoins and they're only on certain platforms. So you have to end up getting into these esoteric platforms. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I like Bittrex the most. Bittrex has a great combination of good looking charts, and they have a pretty wide variety of coins, altcoins, and pairs and stuff like that. I also like Binance a lot. Binance doesn't like the US so much, but I know it's not their fault. It's all the regulations. So Binance also has great looking charts. They do have a US version, Binance.us. They have less pairs on there than the typical Binance, but yeah, Binance and Bittrex are my two favorite right now. But like I said, I'm on Kraken, and I'm probably in more than I can remember. I'd say over a half a dozen different platforms. But what do I actively trade on? I guess that's really your question. I actively trade on Bittrex and Binance. That's where I make my movements. Everything else, I'm basically, like I said, I have Kraken, but I'm just holding whatever coin I have in there. I think I've got like Icon or something like that in Kraken. I've just been holding on to it for years. I think I moved everything else out of Kraken. But yeah, will Doge reach $1? I've heard it's going to reach $1. I also don't know when people are really speculating or when they're just kind of BSing, because the market cap for it to reach $1 would be crazy. Like when people say it's going to reach $10, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, let's look at Doge. Let's look at the market cap. Where is it? Doge market cap. So it's at 55. Let me pull out a calculator really quick. So it's at $5.5 billion as a market cap. So for it to reach, what would that be, like 20x? I don't even know if my calculator has all this. I'm just going to put 5.5 billion. So 5.5 billion times 20. Yeah, that would be $110 billion. That's a lot. Let's see what Bitcoin's at. I don't even know if Bitcoin's market cap is up there yet. Possible, especially if our dollar gets, Bitcoin's back over 40. I didn't even look at my Bitcoin chart yet. Yeah, so to give you some perspective, for Doge to hit $1, and I'm not saying it's not impossible. I'm saying it's going to be hard. Like, it's not going to happen this month. For Doge to hit $1, it would be almost twice what Bitcoin's current market cap is. So market cap, quick way to understand market cap is it stands for market. Oh, I'm sorry, down here. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, it's way more. I was looking at the trading volume. It's way more realistic. So that would be, yeah, it could hit $1 this year. I don't think it'll hit $1 this month. Because I mean, Bitcoin is really the trailblazer. Whatever Bitcoin can do, it makes everything else much more realistic for the other coins. Doge hitting $1 this year, I think would be possible, but people are talking about making a rally in a week. That's not going to happen, man. That's insane. I would love to be proven wrong because I'm holding Doge, and that would allow me to, buy like a house. But yeah, Doge hitting $1. I'd like to see it hit 10 cents first. That would be great. I'd probably make an exit and wait for it to drop. I think it'll drop down again after hitting 10 cents. I think it'll flirt. I think after hitting 10 cents, it'll probably come down to, so for those of you who are watching this, maybe in the future, don't get discouraged. If it hit 10 cents, the train hasn't left. It'll probably drop back down to 7 cents. I think pretty easy to assume that, and then it'll probably pump and take off again. But again, this is like, it's got nothing behind it. Now, it has the potential. I have heard people speculate that just because Doge doesn't have a project or a way to get any revenue now, it wouldn't take much. Like, it is a real coin. It could be used as a currency. I have heard other platforms are picking it up as a currency that they'll take as a form of payment. So with that happening, or with some stability, or with some, if they get enough money in their project and they start hiring some legit devs, the beautiful thing is, here's one thing I've learned, is everything comes down to marketing and advertising. You could have a great product, a great service, but if I don't know who you are and I don't know that you exist, it doesn't matter. There's probably a restaurant in your city that is phenomenal, but they don't advertise, and they're going to be going out of business because not enough people know about them, especially with the COVID stuff. But you guys get the point. I've worked in, I created my own law network in my 20s, and I basically had attorneys putting their bar on the line for like 1/30 of what I was charging customers, and they were working for a small fraction of what I was bringing in. But it was because I had the power of having those customers. I was bringing them in through my call center. And what I'm getting to is, regardless of what the project is, if nobody knows about it, then it's not going to explode. So on the opposite side, with Doge being like a worldwide name, like everybody knows Doge, everybody in crypto knows Doge. Look at this. We did stay on long enough. Look, we're hitting this energy point. Are we going to use this energy point to blast through? Let's see where we're going to go. We got to close above 55 for me to feel like that was relevant. And then we got another energy point exiting this, or entering an arc over there. Top of the square. Let's see. Could we beat this? This is 60. So this is 58 cents would be breaking through this next line of resistance. That would be great to see Doge catch an energy ride up here. Sometimes hitting these energy lines will reverse the price. But in any case, what I was getting to is, if everyone knows what Doge is, and then all of a sudden people are like, hey, by the way, Doge picked up this developer, and they actually have some meaning behind their project. And now with all these eyeballs on them, they're already having a bunch of proven market value and market volume. Oh, look at this. Here's an arc here. And that's right where it looks like it's having some trouble breaking through. So once it gets through this arc, you guys see that? Once it gets through that arc, it'll be hitting this resistance at 55. If we get a close above 55, it looks like it's got basically open. I don't see any other arcs or resistance. 55 and gets a good close. I say today we will be seeing it hit 58. But yeah, let's get Doge to let's get Doge to 10 cents first, and then $1 seems definitely doable by the end of the year. And honestly, with that kind of trajectory, if it starts closing, because as you've seen with Bitcoin, it doesn't like hit 3,000 and then the next goal is 6,000, the next goal is 9,000, then the next goal is 12,000. No, it's like 3, 9, 20, 40. If we get some closes above 40, it makes it way more bullish and has a lot more upward momentum. I think Bitcoin, a lot of people are saying it could come down. My fiance says she thinks it's going to come down to $8 grand. she just like has a hunch, so don't really be afraid of that. But then I have other people who are saying that it's going to make a clear run right up to 100 grand now, or at least 80. Someone was telling me, and they gave some reasons why, like historical pumps before, based on the volume and like all this other stuff. They're basically saying right now Bitcoin is being suppressed. Like it's like the institutions are trying to keep it down. So if they're trying to keep it down and it's still hitting 40, yeah. What else we got? Ripple. I know a lot of people are looking at Ripple. I've been holding Ripple a long time, like years, and I refuse to sell it. It's been taken off of Bittrex, unfortunately, so I'm just holding it. I actually put it in another wallet temporarily just so I could have it somewhere other than Bittrex, because Bittrex won't let me trade it. But Ripple looks like it's consolidating. And for those of you who don't know, consolidation is like when it goes sideways for a while, and it's basically getting comfortable at a price. There's people who the market is starting to agree, okay, we're willing to buy and sell it at this level. And then that'll spark some confidence. And as you can see, it actually was consolidating in an uptrend here. Let's see if we could see a trend here. I'll get some trend lines on here. Okay, so it's consolidating. It looks like it's consolidating at an uptrend here. And then this is just some other stuff that I like to do. I'll find some points where it's been stopped before, and we can kind of get an idea as to, a little channel that it's playing within. So if Ripple all of a sudden if it broke out of this channel, so these channels are like trend lines. And as you can see, when the price on the channel starts narrowing and the highs and lows start becoming closer to each other, a breakout will happen where it either goes down or up, but it's forced as it gets more and more narrow. Like over here, you imagine it'd be making some really crazy movement. So odds are it's going to break out of this channel before it gets super narrow like this, because this is like dealing in like fractions of a fraction of a fraction. So if it breaks out and it gets above 45 cents and gets some closes, I would say we're bullish, especially considering we're leaving a significant arc here. It'd be really nice to see it close above 48 cents, because then it's got some support to keep it going up, but we shall see. So yeah, and if it closes below 43 cents, I'd say it's going to be dropping to at least 41. But I don't know. It looks like, I would say it's bullish. And like I said, I'm holding my Ripple. I'm holding my my Doge. I'm not trying to hold Doge long. I probably will, not all of it. I will get some of it out. I've already made money on it, so it's not like I'm super antsy about it. Like I'm already profitable on Doge. Took it out, my original investment, and then some. Traded into Bitcoin right before it went up, so that was good. Nokia. So now we're looking at stocks. Nokia. This is unfortunately where my fiance bought in, this green line. So as you can see, we're quite a bit below the green line. And this is where she wants to sell just to make a little bit of a profit. But the good news is it's following, see this trend line down here? And this is actually a trend line that's from two bear setups. This trend line is providing some support, starting to pull off, and it looks like it wants to follow these arcs up. So again, all of these arcs, as passing through this way, with the arcs below it, these arcs become potential. If it was going up through arc, they are resistance. But since we're in a bear cycle, and that's very obvious because it started down here and it hasn't really made much of a fight to come back up. So it is in a bear trend, but these arcs might start bringing it up. And now the way it works is the lower it gets, the stronger these arcs become. And the more aggressive the angle of the arc, it might be harder to catch support there because it requires too drastic of a movement, too drastic of a trend change, unless you see some kind of breakout. But sometimes it'll line up on an energy point, or something will just get hyped, like Monday might open and people might have been looking at this all weekend and they're like, wow, look, it's at the same price it was before it started spiking up over here. Now it's a deal again. So I I think Nokia looks pretty good. Plus Nokia, going to the fundamental side, Nokia had some good earnings. I think they've got some significant 5G contracts and stuff like that reporting. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Nokia take off. And I mean, everyone knows Nokia. Let's see where it's been historically. Really, that's it? Come on. Okay, so as you can see, Nokia used to sit comfortably above all of these prices for a while. So when is this? This back in 19. So 20 hurt everybody. See a drop at the end of, in October, something happened. Came up in August, kind of flirted with it. But yeah, I think Nokia, I would be buying it as it goes down, because Nokia would come down. And when you buy as it goes down, you buy a little bit, buy a little bit, buy a little bit. You're actually bringing down the average cost that you paid per share. So that's one of the dangers of jumping in and out with 100% of the money that you have. You don't have anything else to buy in. So if it starts going down, then you would lose. I've got, let's see. Yeah, I'm more comfortable with crypto, honestly. There's more movement in crypto. I don't really dabble in stocks as much. Crypto is just, it's more fun to chart. It goes 24 hours a day, so you see consistency in trends. And yeah, but I mean, I'll probably do some more videos like this. I was getting some responses, and I love sharing any of this stuff that I learned. So and it'll give me another reason to keep up with the charts. I'm not in real estate, not currently. I am looking to get into real estate as the market comes down. Right now, I think everything's just too hot. So I don't see a lot of upward movement for real estate. And I'm also looking to possibly move to another part of the state to be closer to family. So we're in flux, but right now in Florida, everything's too hot. I'm going to wait for the market to crash, the economy to come down, and real estate to come down. Then I'll jump in. Phase 2, Earth2 is it's imminent. It's going to be in the next several weeks, I believe. That's what the chatter is. The developers, I think, even said that. And so I'm thinking within the next week or two, we should have Earth2 phases. If you're not familiar with Earth2, I've got a bunch of videos on it. If you're not familiar with what phase 2 is, it's basically going to be, we're going to be able to start getting resources from the land that we own. It's going to be in relation to class. I've got videos on all this stuff, so check that out. Lots of Earth2 content on both of my channels now, so check those out. And I've got a beginner series that does a pretty good job at, making it less intimidating. But yeah, phase 2, I'm very excited for. I think that's going to bring more people into Earth2. I think there's going to be a spike up with Earth2. I think they've planned it out very well with all these releases of new phases, new classes. They're keeping a lot of stuff secretive. So the benefit of that is, if you guys look at like a stock or a cryptocurrency or any kind of project, when they tell you everything that they've got planned for 5 years, there's a phrase where it's buy the rumor, sell the news. And with a stock, like if Elon Musk were to tell you everything that they've got planned for the next 5 years, everyone's going to buy in on that stock today based on the future value. And Elon, in a recent interview, he actually said that he thinks a lot of the stock price is being attributed to future successes. So what's cool about Earth2 is they're not releasing everything yet. So people who are invested so far, they're only convinced based on the information that's available. More stuff will come out that'll make it more appealing, and it'll give more people reason to jump in, which for everyone who's already in on it, it only secures and increases the value of your investment in Earth2. So I think it's a lot of people are frustrated, and they think, there's people who think it's a scam and everything, but I think it's intelligent for them to not be super detailed with all of their plans. They give us enough of a runway to say, hey, here's where we're going, but we've got more surprises in store. So get on now, or you can wait for us to talk about these surprises when they're imminent and they're about to be released. But Earth2, going back to phase 2, yeah, we'll be able to get resources from our land. From what I understand, all land will render some type of resource. They also mentioned there's going to be an ability to terraform. So even if your land renders a resource that you don't want, potentially you'll be able to change it into something you do want. And what else? Oh, you can sell those resources. So now this is an additional way to make passive income on top of the land tax that we're all receiving passively just for owning the land. On top of being able to sell your land, you will now be able to sell your resources, trade them, use them yourself. What do we use resources for? Building materials. People are going to start building out Earth2. Got a little notice here. So people are going to start building out Earth2, which is going to make it even more cool, because right now, as many of you probably know, it's going to be wiped clean. All the man-made structures are going to be wiped off Earth2. So no more Disney World and Earth2 or anything else. We got to rebuild all of that. But in phase 2, with the building starting, we will now be able to start having attractions, and that's only more reason for people to come to Earth2. Someone's gonna be like, hey, did you hear about the roller coaster in a castle that someone built on an island off the coast of, the Bahamas or something like that? It's like, no, it's like, oh yeah, get into Earth2, and it'll just draw more people in. Right now, the only people who are getting into it are, speculative investors like myself and probably like a lot of you guys. Once the people who are just interested in gaming start getting in there, we'll also be getting closer to the advertising phase, where we'll be able to start making money based off of the advertising that we can sell on our land. And that's going to be based off of people coming in to play and explore and do all this stuff. So I'm very excited about phase 2 now coming out. TWT token, future price value. Familiar with that? I will have to, I'll look into that one, and I will, let me see, TWT. I'm going to look it up on Coinbase really quick. I'll look into that one. Maybe I'll throw a chart on that bad boy if it looks good. Trust wallet token. It's at 54 cents. Looks like it just spiked up. It's the market cap. What is it? All right, Trust Wallet Token, or TWT, is a simple BEP20 utility token that provides a range of benefits and incentives to the Trust Wallet users. Trust Wallet itself is a mobile cryptocurrency wallet. Sports doubles. I'd have to look more into it. I'm not super excited about what it says right now, but like anything's possible of being pumped. So I'm not going to say that it won't go up. It's obviously spiking right now. I always give the example of Doge. I would say let's throw this bad boy on a chart. Let's do it versus Tether. Let's see what this looks like on a chart. I'll start doing some quick charting. I do have to get off. I got so much to do. I can't play all day, but let's play a little bit longer. All right. All right, definitely on an uptrend. It looks like it's new on Binance because it's only got, doesn't have much time tracked here. And as you can see, as I was saying earlier, we've got the, let me spread these out so we can see them. As you can see, the RSI signaled green or blue, whatever you want to call it. Big RSI gave me a green light just before the MACD gave me a green light. And then look at what we see in the charts. We see stuff popping off. So again, RSI right here, MACD confirmed. A little late to the game, but good confirmation. Breakout happened. And then we've got the retracement. So let's see. Put some simple stuff on here. Look at that. So that's going to be decent resistance. When this breaks through this price, resistance, this will be support. So once we get above here, this will be support. Let me see, I'll throw a quick. See what I can find. Actually, I should go further back. I don't know, I'll have to play with this one a bit. That's what's tricky about these, is getting the right time. Sometimes it'll look better on a 3-hour chart or a 5-minute chart. So I always try to bounce around. It takes a while to get a good setup. I could be playing with charts for hours. Oops. I think that it will. This might be support. This is called top of the square. This might be support. If it doesn't go much further, let's see what it looks like on 5 minutes. Yeah, TWT, that it might still have some oomph left. This is all curving up. I think it'd definitely be worth watching. I'll do some more research on it, get some fundamentals, play with some more charts, and I'll see what I think about that. Let's see what else I have charted out here. Nokia. This one I didn't love. I don't really have anything. It's below resistance. It's Argo blockchain. I'm bullish on the project itself. Actually, it looks like it's trending up. I just wasn't in love with the chart when I was doing it before. I think it was back here when I was doing the chart before. Didn't really hit anything on these energy points that's convincing, but I do see it's trending up. As you guys can see, it's in an uptrend. So that's good. It'll be hitting some resistance at $1.40. So that might be where we see a reversal. When you see these really sharp increases in price, that's not sustainable. So it's got to find a level where it's going to be comfortable being bought and sold by bears and bulls. So as you can see, spikes up, comes down, tries to find some stability here, tries to spike up too early, brought way back down, but now it's gradually coming up, and it's actually just under this resistance line. So it looks like it's kind of trying to fight it. And if it got above it, it would be support. And that is that this angle isn't too aggressive. So you could see some lines, and look, it's actually a continuation. It's almost like the bears are punishing the bulls for being a little bit too greedy over here. They're like, look, we had you on this nice steady increase. We're letting you go up. We're letting you go up. And you spiked it up, brought it back down. You tried to agree with what we were trying to get you to do before, but no, we're going to bring you back down. Now you got to fight your way back up. But if it closes above here, I think Argo is going to be walking this line up. And then fun stuff happens when it gets outside of the setups, either at the top of the square or at the end of the square setups or at the end of these arcs. So these are all, it's just endless opportunities for movement. And you're just trying to guess which way it's going, where I should get in, maybe how far it's going to go. Like if you see a lot of resistance lines above it, you're probably not going to be putting your sell price up here. I'd be putting a sell price somewhere around here. It might go up here, but the likelihood of it hitting here and having some trouble and having to bounce back down and then go up is it's a higher likelihood than it just blowing through support and being super bullish without any kind of challenge. And the benefit of selling here and seeing it come up and then bounce back down to hit this support, then you buy back here, you capitalize, you captured this here, you sold here, you missed out on it going up here, but you took the safe sale. boom, back down here on support. And it'll be, not to say this one will do that exactly, but now it's hitting those upward swinging arcs. So now all these arcs are going to start, hey, let's go up, let's go up, let's go up. So I think that by here, I think it'll be getting up here. We shall see. Let me put a little target on there just so I remember what I said. So I'll put a little target. I think it'll be at least here by that time. And when this? It's a 1 hour chart. So this will be 4 p.m. on the 21st, right? No, on the 9th, 21st. I'm not used to the year yet, but let's see if I have any questions and I'm going to bounce off. Right now, this is a question pertaining to Earth2. So right now, there are countries that are still restricted because of legal or religious considerations, and the Earth2 team, from what I understand, they're trying to work through the red tape of bureaucracy and unrestrict those areas. Israel is another one, but the United Arab Emirates, Israel, who else? I know everyone's like, oh man, I want to buy Dubai. Some people have bought Dubai. They were purchased either before the restrictions, or people also found bugs in the system and they were exploiting that. And one thing I've mentioned in other videos, don't exploit the system. If you know you're not supposed to be buying in these restricted countries and you find some loophole or some kind of hack that allows you to buy into these countries, they've got everything registered. They see that you bought it. They can, if they want, they can just close your account down and tell you can't play and take your land from you. So I wouldn't be doing any of that, but be patient. That stuff will be getting unlocked. I don't think it'll be unlocked with correlation to phase 2. I've seen people speculate as to when these unrestricted lands these restricted lands will be unrestricted. I don't think it's going to correlate with anything else. Some people were saying, oh, on January 1st, all this other land is going to be unrestricted. No, the developers even said that they're trying to get it unrestricted, but they aren't like waiting for a specific date to let it go. But pay attention to, I believe they say when you try to buy those lands, I believe they say pay attention to our social media and your email. I'm sure they'll do some kind of an announcement saying, hey, Israel's open. Hey, the UAE is open. And I'm also following them on Instagram. They don't post a great deal of content, but I'm sure that's where you could find some updates when it's going to be open. But coming up on an hour, I've got some chores to do. Otherwise, my fiance will beat me, and I'm going to get to that. But if you guys have questions about the chart, if you're interested in TradingView, again, there's a link below. You can get 30 days free of a TradingView platform. I think it's the best. It's definitely worth it if you're looking to put some serious money into stocks or crypto. And it's a good skill to learn. Even if, like, what I would do is I wouldn't start with day trading based on your charts yet, because even I am not confident enough to day trade based on charts. Sometimes I will. Yeah, I was day trading Doge for a while. But if you go on longer plays and look at longer trends, you're going to be safer, because you'll see bullish or bearish in a longer, like everything's a fractal. Like there are bullish and bearish cycles within minutes. Then there's bullish and bearish cycles that are within hours, within days, within weeks, within months. So you can catch these ups and downs. But if you're trying to catch the ups and downs on a small view of what's going on, you might miss the larger overall trend, and you might think it's going up and you buy in. In reality, it's already peaked and it's part of a bear down cycle, and you're just going to get hammered and have a bad time. Have to hold it for a long time or get out at a loss. But none of this is investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor, whatever, disclaimers, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, play with it. It's fun stuff to know. And, stocks, crypto, none of this stuff's going anywhere. So if you learn it now, if you learn it in 10 years, you learn it in 20 years, whenever, but now is better, because you'll be able to take advantage of certain things. Like the people who are able to call the top, like there was one guy, I forget what his name was, but I think he was moving like $10 million out of GameStop, like at the top. How do you think he found the top? He was using charts. But you guys have a great Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Happy trading. Don't play with anything you can't afford to lose. And Earth2 people, I will be knocking out some Earth2 videos shortly, maybe going live. I'm super busy with so many different side projects, but Earth2 is going to continue to be exciting. So I'm very excited to release some more video, go over some more stuff about the dev, future project, team itself, and a lot of the other stuff that's going on. Some of it relating to crypto.